Alright, so this VOD was submitted by EpicGamer. I'm going to do 2 VODs of his. It's mostly a Tracer and McCree VODs. And this one's on Lijiang Tower, and he's platinum level. So let's just get right into it.
Will Farah. I'll mark it, I'll play Tracer. What's up, team?
Hello, team.
Hey. I hate it when nobody's on voice chat. I mean, they don't have mics.
Oh yeah, no, that's awful.
I'm gonna go Baron Gardens because it's a better map.
Holy shit.
What happened?
Looks like everyone is at least listening, so it was good that at the start I'm always the initiator, almost always saying, "Hey, what's up, team?" If they answer, they answer. If they don't, don't get too upset. It's no big deal. At least they can hear you, and you just look to see if who can hear you, who can't. And it's only I only use that information so I know, I know that if I call out to the, let's say the Hanzo and say, "Hey, Hanzo, to your right," something to your right that you want to shoot at. I know he can hear me.
What the bottom ground team? I don't know how to say his name.
But never use it to flame your team or anything. Don't. It's just it does no good. If you get angry, it doesn't make it better to also make your teammate angry. Let's try to just focus on yourself, see what you can do better to make up for your teammate if you think he's not doing well.
Orochimaru. He's from Naruto.
49 hours on Moira, 41
Oh my god, dude. 52.
Almost won 300 games. Jesus
This
Christ,
year,
no wonder he's stuck in the platinum.
Let's see if you... Alright. So let's look at this team comp. You have no main tank. So this soldier is really going to be struggling against... if they have a Reinhardt, this soldier is going to be struggling. Because you automatically have lost the shield war. Because you don't have a shield. So you don't... I'm just saying for the soldier, because I guess he's your friend. You don't want to go straight head on against a Reinhardt shield, because let's say they have a soldier. For every shot you're putting into the Reinhardt shield, their soldier is putting it into your team. So you don't want to go straight face to face with a Reinhardt Orisa comp. You should be looking at odd angles and stuff, high ground, try to shoot at things so the shield becomes useless. You got to make it so that Reinhardt feels like no matter what he does, his shield is getting no use, because that's the only way you'll win the shield war. You as Tracer, just Tracer always should never really worry about the healers, because it's nice to have a Zen, because you can follow the Discord and have the healing orb on you at times, but for the most part, no matter who your healer comp is, even with a Zen, you should always be knowing where your health packs are and be playing around those, because they're vital. They can save you a recall because you have a health pack nearby, and thus keep you in the fight longer. So you should really just worry about health packs, and occasionally you might get thrown a Brig armor pack, I guess it's called. But you shouldn't be relying on that. You shouldn't be expecting it. If you get it, great. If you don't, don't think, "Oh, these healers suck," because it's the healer's job is not to keep track of the Tracer. Tracer's job is to keep track of his healers if he wants to get healed. You have very few combos. You have no defensive ult. Yeah, Brig has armor, but if a Grav comes out, if a Grav on the other team has Grav, armor is nothing. It's not a defensive ult that will save you. I guess you could either combo Grav with you have Big Bang and Bigger Bang with either Pulse Bomb or Nuke. This is a wonky comp, definitely. Not impossible, just wonky.
Yeah. Loses the game, wins the game.
But as Tracer, you're I don't think your job's really going to be any different. You're going to want to be living in their back line, attacking them when they attack into your team, and just be annoying.
Oh shit, I was gonna bark him out. That was a malfunction.
I watched that happen.
Shit. That's embarrassing, boy. Okay, okay. No, this is not the best place for Tracer to fight. He was low. He was out of mech. This is dead. Winnable. To the Zarya. To the soldier. He's dead. To the Zarya. Zarya's dead. Oh, I'm low, dude.
Holy shit. Okay.
So this is just a brawl. Yeah.
Nice
You
play.
have two
Already?
health.
Already?
So that was, you were doing pretty well. At certain points, you definitely carried that fight. Because at first, like Jesus, you guys.
I watched that happen.
I thought you guys were gonna get steamrolled here. So this is a good attack. Their whole team is focused at the front, so you attack their healer.
Okay, okay. No,
Right.
this is not the
But that
best place for
soldier
Tracer to
instantly
fight.
turns to you, so you get out of there. You waste too many blinks, I think. You used all your blinks to get out of there. So
Okay, okay. No.
I don't know why you blinked there. Why did... No one was looking at you at that point.
Okay, okay. No,
You
this.
blink and then the soldier turns at you. So you're already down a blink before the soldier started shooting at you for no reason. Then you burn your recall, which is fine because he did shoot at you. So at this point, recall is good.
It's not the best place for Tracer
And then you need to get out of here. But one blink will get you out of here.
to fight.
But then you waste that blink over there. So you're not managing your resources well, I would say. I would say you wasted 2 blinks out of, I guess, the 4 possible ones you had. And the recall, which forced you to make an early recall. But, man, so you lose 2, they lose their healer, though.
He was low.
You
He was out of
demech
mech.
the diva, but you let her walk out.
This is dead. Winnable.
And you walk into the middle of the point saying, hey, look at me, I'm a tracer. So you should have probably... No, back up a little bit more. So you demech this
He was
diva.
low.
And a diva has the same amount of health as you, but no abilities. And less damage. So you should have probably taken that 1v1 to make sure that diva can't come back. But instead you just blink into the middle of the point. And then... So in the middle of the point, you're sitting, not a sitting duck because your tracer cells blink stuff, but you grab the attention of everyone
He was out of mech.
and you put yourself in a very vulnerable position. So that diva just slinks away into the night while you try to chase a Lucio, which is going to be harder to shoot.
This is dead. Winnable. To the Zarya. To the soldier.
And that aim was all over the place right there against the soldier. So I just found out I can do something like this. So let's go slower.
To the Zarya.
Play back. Slower.
To the soldier.
So you came back to it better. But you definitely in the panic right here.
To the soldier.
Back and forth, back and forth. But then you
He's dead.
turn and
To the-
get him. So you
to
just need to
Zarya.
practice acquiring
Zarya's
targets.
dead.
I wouldn't say it's because of sensitivity or anything. It's just you overcorrected several times, but then you did do the right movement to the character. So it's just a little bit of practice and making sure, like, actively flicking to the target, tracking to the right spot instead of just pushing the stick and hoping for the best.
Oh, I'm low, dude.
You kind of just threw your ult out to like there wasn't even an enemy on your screen and you just threw it out. So you were the first person to get an ult.
Holy shit. Okay.
So at this point, I'd probably be thinking, alright, my healers aren't going to heal me. I need to get that minion to the left. Like, right now, you're low on health. You're low on resources. You have no recall. You really need to get your, yeah. So this is your mistake. Your biggest mistake of this fight. Everything else been pretty well, and at times, you are doing good, like really good. But letting the diva escape and running into this soldier with 2 health was your mistake.
Already?
Yeah, no.
How did he get his ult that fast? That soldier
Yeah, I
dude.
almost have mine. No,
You should be you should be more like him. You should be more like him.
Fuck you, I've got my ult.
Dude, he carried that entire round. That team fight
Can't
was
believe they got the
won.
lap as well. I'm changing up.
Okay, so I guess take away from that fight, because you always want to think after death, how could I have done it better? You attacked with 2 health, you let the diva escape, and you threw your ult at nothing. So those are the 3 things you should learn from that fight.
Oh, fuck off, Lucia, you cunt.
And you're really like, what are these blinks for? Are you evading damage? Like there's no reason to use these blinks, and you're just using your resources too much.
I'm changing up in a minute because he is. Oh, fuck off, Lucia, you cunt.
Like, there, all your blinks are like, now you're moving against this with very few resources. You're going to have to burn your recall, and this is, once you burn your recall, you basically have to leave after that, unless someone's like really low and you just need to finish off and then leave. But once you burn your recall, you are on thin ice.
Fuck.
And when you have, because basically you had to burn your recall there so early because you used all your blinks out here, because you had no blinks to when you actually fought them to use.
I'm just doing damage
Tell you
from
what,
behind.
let's get deeper at mech.
Oh, I forced Mercy ult, dude. The soldier fell off the map.
Are you fucking serious? Oh my god.
Dude, I'm playing out of my mind.
I don't know what's happening.
So I would have thought it would have been a lost fight. I guess you might have been able to pull it back if you got a good stick, but he got 3 kills with his ult. They were down their soldier, but you are down your tanks and your other DPS. So you have Moira and Brig and you. And you just... Sorry.
Are you fucking serious? Oh my god.
And you throw your ult onto the Reaper, who's going to have his Wraith form. Unless someone calls out Reaper no Wraith, it's not really a great target. Yeah.
Dude, I'm playing out of my mind.
So right now you've wasted basically 2 of your ults. I would say that one was
I got
really
like my current
ambitious
bomb.
and
We have to have.
could have worked in the right situation, but
like, I
don't think that was a situation onto a Reaper that has Wraith.
Rodog's getting in for the...
Fucking how are you still there? What?
Again, you're down 2 already.
Come on, Diva.
They're running the same comp into you, actually. I haven't even looked at that. They're like running the same comp, except they have defensive ult. So you hit it here. Alright. Oh no, they switched off the... No, you switched off the Diva to the Roadhog now. But they're running the same Diva Zarya, which is odd. Soldier, but a Reaper instead of you. So they're going to tear into those tanks. Yeah, their team definitely synergizes slightly better, because even though you have the same tank core, Reaper can tear these tanks because, what, 200 health bubble and Diva Defense Matrix that lasts 2 seconds, Lucio can speed boost him in, and he's just gonna rip apart your tank lineup.
Did anybody die?
I'll get my ult in a minute.
Okay, we can push right
This
now.
bridge is going
Down to
off.
Lucio, aren't you?
Zarya's dead. What's he won, dude? What's he's dead?
So you've kind of gone.
Zarya's low, Zarya's low.
Alright, there. We're calling out target.
Zarya's low, dude.
But at the beginning, you
Going to
were
1 point.
calling out targets to hit, and it's going to be tough for DPS, I think. I don't think really DPS should be the ones calling out targets all the time, because DPS can change targets easily. So, like, if a soldier is shooting at something, he's calling that out. That's great, but what if his Reinhardt is, like, across the map, or, like, you know, across the point? It's going to be hard for him to, like, focus on it. So sometimes it's better for the tanks to be the target callers and the DPS, because the DPS almost always can switch targets easily, and tanks are a lot harder. But if no one's in talking, so obviously it falls to you. But you kind of did it at the beginning, and then you kind of stopped, and you're only calling out low health targets. But the fight's already lost because you've wasted all your time trying to bring that target to low health and then call it out, instead of calling out your target to begin with, so that everyone shoots at it, or hopefully everyone shoots at it, so that so they die quicker. A waste of Lucio ult.
You didn't, dude.
So,
Finally.
And also, in Plat, you should really start tracking ults. Trying to synergize ults and tracking ults. This is a 2600 game, so it's gold's just now getting into Plat. But you should really, Plat is really where you should really start thinking about how do ults win the game for them, and how does it win it for us, and how do we stop their win condition. So you haven't at all thought about what kind of ults they have. Do they use Zarya?
She's alone right there.
I don't think they use Zarya ult yet. So that's probably their win condition, right? Zarya ult. They use Nuke, so they don't have that to combo. They probably have Reaper ult again, but you haven't hit tab, so I don't even know if they still have a Reaper or not. They use the Lucio. They probably have Valk.
Let's not do that.
They might have Tag Visor.
Okay, Roda got a Mercy. Can I get some help?
That's fine. I mean, you're tickling them. Right now, you should be looking like you're the only target they have, so you don't want to engage hard on them. So you burned your recall, which is unfortunate because you went a little aggressive. But tickling them from afar, making them think about you, is actually good. You're not doing tons of damage, but you're psychologically making them have to always check their back. They're always thinking about you. So a good tactic is just to make your presence known. Sometimes you don't want to be known that you're there as Tracer, and sometimes you do. So in this situation, you're doing that, which is fine, because now it's delaying their push. They're looking at you, they're pushing you. You don't want to burn resources though. You want to try to do this using its little blinks and almost never using recall, because if you just stuck at that doorway, you do a little less damage, but you're not going to kill anyone anyway. And all you're doing is telling them, hey, I'm here, Tracer's here, I'm here, I could get your support, watch out for me. So it's...
Can I get some help?
So you don't really need to say, I need to get some help. I mean, obviously it's good to, like, fight in that choke. Like, if you watch pro matches, they fight here. They fight right here in the open, and they almost never stay on point. But in Plat, people are going to sit on the point. You got to know that, so you got to play around that. But look, they're barely doing any damage to you. You're not really threatened. If you stayed by the Mega, you could get that Mega health pack. And you're demanding... Think of how many people were looking at you. So if it was the Diva, the Reaper, and the Soldier, like, that's 3v1. And you don't want to actually fight the 3v1. You just want them to commit to it almost. Like, you're staying safe, but they're still like, we need to take out this Tracer. So 3 of them are not fighting your team. So your team can have a 5v3. But then you group with your team. Do you need that recall? Yeah. Okay, he's being pocketed now. Once you got... You overstayed your
Damn
welcome
it.
there. Once you use your recall, yeah. Once you use your recall, you need to, you know, I mean, I guess you committed, but he was being pocketed. So you should have probably gotten out of there. Your recall really puts a timer on your life, because you have 12 seconds until you can recall again. And that's your biggest source of, like, re-healing.
Killed by Battle Mercy. No.
Ah Oh, this look like crazy.
Go something like Lucio, we need to get to the point instantly. Shit.
Here we come.
Dude, their soldier is good, man. He's predicting where I'm going.
Yeah, what's gold damage?
Yeah, I have gold damage. I have 4 golds.
Yeah, what is it?
5,503 gold damage. Gold limbs is 10.
Yeah, gold limbs is 10, but I pretty much have gold damage, so...
Okay, I'm gonna... What? This map is so bad, dude. Seriously. Could you go support, tank them? We have triple DPS now. We have triple DPS. I rode out when Genji.
Nothing.
Okay, I'm flanking them. They're all coming left side, all left side, all left side, all left side. They're all left side.
You mean right?
Yeah, whatever. Sorry, is dead.
Straight to your counter.
Kill the McCree.
Why didn't he ever use Flash? Did he use it? You didn't know. Like, I didn't see him use Flash.
Kill the McCree.
No.
So that was very dangerous, but it worked out.
He's got the point. They have no
You didn't know if he used Flash or not. Like, you should be very wary about the Flash, because it's just Flash, either fan the hammer or just one headshot will kill you. So that was very dangerous, especially because you went through the enemy team to get to it. It's not like you went flanked and shot him from the back. You like went straight. Tracer doesn't want like to be face to face with him. You want to shoot him in the back or from the side. Now, it would have been a long flank. Well, not really, because you were already kind of halfway there. You could have called out the team and then flanked left and then shot them in the back, making them have to turn around. Because you notice once you did get behind them, the McCree now had to turn around, which means not shooting your front line. And so you relieve pressure when you go from behind. And when you're at the front, you're not really relieving pressure, and you're so squishy that it's just not into your favor. So you do tons of damage because you get your pulse bomb pretty quickly, but you then just kind of like Tracer pulse bomb. I'm not too, you know, it's a thing that comes up so fast that you don't need to carry out a graph or something. But I don't think you've hit one yet this game, so, and it seems like you always want to stick up. You always want to stick a bubble. a thing you can do in custom game is Anabots, and just give yourself, turn up ult generation to 500%, whatever, and so you have your pulse bomb like almost always, and then turn on Anabots in a custom game, turn off all their things, turn off their biotic grenade, their sleep dart, their primary fire, and just let them roam around. And as Tracer, have unlimited blinks, and try to pick a spot, blink at an Ana, and throw your pulse bomb, and try to stick them. You can just do that for 40 minutes, an hour. It's a good practice, I guess, to try to, one, know the distance for your blinks, and two, to see, practice sticking people with your pulse bombs.
Yeah, I was about to say, there's no way we're getting that point with one person.
No, we can get it. We can get it.
They got the res. If you can get rid of that, wait, got it.
McCree won. He said, "We can win, dude. I killed so many people right there. I killed like 3 people. I mean 2 people.
We can't win that. We can't win that.
I feel like I'm doing a lot.
Constantly fucking away.
We don't have enough heals. Brigade, can you go Moira?"
So, you're getting slightly frustrated, and you're pushing it onto, you're trying to figure out what the problem is. Telling exactly what people should do, like Brig switch to Moira, is not really a great strategy to try to do it, because you run the risk of tilting them.
Constantly fucking away.
We don't have enough heals. Brigade, can you go Moira?
You could say, can we get a main healer? Just throw it out there. Can we get a main healer? But again, as Tracer, that's not your problem, because like I said, you shouldn't be relying on your heals. So as Tracer, you're not going to be relying on your healers, or you shouldn't be. If you are, then you're playing Tracer poorly. What your mistakes are is that, like on that fight, you kind of went straight face to them. You weren't using Tracer to her maximum ability in the sense of being a flanker. You were just basically being a soldier that has a submachine gun instead of a rifle. You weren't really using Tracer to flank or get behind them, change their attention to a different direction. So you were missing a lot of what Tracer can do in that fight.
Soldier's dead.
Oh my fuck. That's steamrolling.
They were triple DPS comp and they were still losing to them.
Yeah, we're getting fucked up, that's why.
We need to regroup. Come back. Come back.
Everyone get max health and then we can probably try and go in.
The thing is, the soldier is really good.
Let's go for it, They ain't got no contester. Nice, that's 2.
Oh, she's dead. Arya's low. Arya's dead. Is Lucio one, dude? Nice, he's dead. Nice shot. They have a lever. The soldier left. Senwa. Get on point.
Is the only reason why you're gonna win?
Nice. Mercy's dead.
Because they have a lever.
Holy shit.
Triple DPS isn't exactly bad. Especially when the enemy team can't handle that much damage coming out.
1 HP. Shit, I should have recalled there. I'm so bad.
As Tracer, you can't really do much against the triple DPS, but they're just rolling over your team. So it's going to be really hard for you to engage, because as soon as the engagement happens, because you don't want to attack before there's a team fight Because if you attack before your team attacks, then you're just doing 1v6. I guess for the most part, for Tracer, I'd be trying to pull their attention as much as possible, being passive and trying to make it so that all that damage doesn't go directly into your front line, because you have no shield to stop all that. You just have a hog and a Zarya.
They have a lever. We can win this. Easy win. Easy clap.
We'll probably win this point. It'll probably be back for a second.
I hope he actually rage quit instead of disconnecting. So that way we can actually.
That's way out of position. Does he come back at all? That person?
He's dead. Nice.
Okay.
McCree behind.
Where's McCree? Where's McCree? Where is he?
I'll be able to watch the
behind.
front. I'll be able to watch the front.
Let's go.
He's got
Pull me in a
to.
minute. Right, fucking ult. Nice ult. Oh my god.
It's huge. McCree's using his ult.
McCree behind.
Nice call, dude. He's dead.
Fuck, he's got him.
McCree's
What
dead.
an ult, Zarya.
Move
Amazing.
forward. We have to stop them from reaching.
Oh, not stop the ult.
He's dead.
Okay, nice.
So, I mean, you win because they have a lever. So you can be aggressive and kind of disrespect them because, I mean, just think of this positioning here. Though, I mean, you don't have, you're facing all of them in the face, so they all can look at you, they can look at your team, they don't have to, like, split their attention. It's just, you want to attack from angles.
Okay, nice.
This was kind of like the last bit to hold them. So, but you've been doing this most of the game. You've done some flanks. It's not been awful, but it's probably not the right time to talk about that. But yeah, they still have a lever. You win. So I don't know what you're just gonna you just 65 them the whole game.
26 elims, gold, 9,703.
So I've already done the fair with you, so I'm just going to stop it there for now. We'll go on to the next one because I'm gonna do another one anyway, so I don't see the point going into a 5v6 because there's just you can get away with so much against 5v6. Alright, so this is his second VOD. This time he's not with his friend. Let's see, there's Paul Ryan is a odd synergy. There is none really. Then Hanzo McCree. So McCree is really difficult on console. Like, it's just really difficult. I know, especially since Brig came in the game, I feel like there's not much reason to play McCree, because if you have the aim for McCree, you have the aim for Hanzo or Widowmaker, and they can one-shot. And then if you don't have the aim for McCree, then you have so many more stuns. Like, Genji can deflect a flashbang, but he can't deflect a shield bash. Tracer, there's a one-shot combo with McCree, but there's an easier one-shot combo with Brigitte. I just feel like, you know, especially with when your aim is not as great and you want damage, you should go with the soldier.
My account name. Danny. I was on my Smurf.
There's it's quite a different bunch of. Like, I've looked into all the different things that kind of aiming styles for console, and there's so many out there. It's really difficult to get an understanding. I mean, my McCree right now is so like if you looked into his options for controls, it's so fucked right now because I've been trying linear ramp or dual zone and aim smoothing, aim easiness. Right now I'm trying out one that someone suggested because it's more like Call of Duty, which is around 50-50 for the sense, linear ramp, no aim smoothing, and aim easing around 30. I think it was around 28. And then there's like the aim hitbox. Like you can go into those settings and see all those things, and it kind of gets overwhelming. And none of it really feels like it helps McCree enough to warrant him over something else.
I think so.
Was it yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday or the day before, I think. Definitely, because I remember that.
Could be.
I told you about One Piece, right? Do you watch One Piece?
I understand
asked you that.
like wanting to be McCree because it's so satisfying to hit those headshots, isn't it?
I can't remember.
Like dink, dink, dink.
Suicide to never let go, and blue eyes which never let go. I'm Savanoia.
So, what I did to try to improve with my McCree aiming, because you asked in the Discord right before I was about to do this, you can do the Anabots, which I suggested with the Tracer, but instead do it with McCree and change it so that headshots only. That way you can't use your flashbang. It's not going to work. But the Anabots move around and you try to headshot them. And you just practice like that. You can also go into deathmatch against real people. And there's going to be tons of Tracers. There's going to be tons of Genjis. There's going to be other McCrees, Soldiers, Reapers. Those are the people you're going to be, your responsibility as McCree to be contesting in a team fight. So that will help you. You just be practicing against them, and you won't be risking your SR. And the other ones will be trying to win the game. They're trying to beat you, so it's pretty good practice.
It is time to act.
Let's go, guys. Win this.
Let's go.
Yep.
Shot a little early on the Wraith, and I mean he was, or teleport, whatever it is called. And then because either you held down the trigger, you pressed it too much, you never reacquired his head, so you never even hit him once. That's.
Chat for Widow.
So also, I don't know how you fire with McCree, because sometimes it's really hard to see in the video, but you should always be pressing the button for each shot. You shouldn't be holding down the trigger, unless like maybe it's into a Ryan shield, but you should always be purposeful with your shots.
Again. Right side.
What?
Let's go on
Where are the
point.
heals?
I mean, that wasn't healing fault. You jumped down away from your healers to just.
Again. Right side.
So how many are them? You're at 50 health already, and you jump down, and they're all right there. McCree, good. Yeah, all right, you flashed 2 of them, but you're just in the middle of that team. Their whole team was flanking right. Half of them had made it, half of them had not, and you just inserted yourself into their team. You're going to die. Okay. Also, let's check out some of these. It's comp. So they're going quadruple DPS, so there's gonna be tons of damage coming out, and your inconsistency, you're playing both DPS that require really good aim, while they have spam, they have shotguns, one that requires good aim, one that is a little iffy. He's a finisher, so if someone gets hit with a Junkrat grenade and gets some more spam like a Moira Orb, that he can just dash through. So he's a finisher. He can capitalize on all this spam that's coming out. They're solo healing, solo tank. This team is ripe for being already tilted because of all this thing, all this quadruple DPS. But it's if you can survive all this damage for a little while.
What?
Go on
Where are the
point.
heals? I didn't get any heals.
Guys on point, on point.
Yeah, we
It's just never good into team chat saying, "Where's the heals? I'm not getting healed. Heal me." All you're going to do, is the Moira or the Brig going to be like, "He's right. I sucked." Like, they're never going to do that. Even if they did suck, it's just all it's going to do is tilt them. So one, it was your fault. It wasn't your healer's fault. But even if it was your healer's fault, it's never a good idea. All you can do is try to figure out how they play and try to play around them. So yeah, McCree, you want to stick with your healers, which you didn't do, and just make it easier for them to heal you. Because they're going to be healing your tanks. Your tanks are immobile, so your whole comp is kind of like being in a position, and you can't move fast. You're not going to engage on the enemy team. It's more picking a position and letting the enemy team engage on you. But they got tons of spam. Like, they're going to spam you from there. Oh, they switched to a diva. But still.
we're dead, man. Feels bad.
Yeah.
This point's already lost. I mean, you're just going to trickle into them. They have spawn advantage. You don't. Okay, so you don't show yourself.
Right.
That was still, I think, really dangerous. Because you got very close. You thought about doing it, and the Hanzo followed you. All you're doing is trickling onto the point. You're not going to 1v6 them.
Get low. Right. Be careful.
Yeah. Again, as Tracer, you're overusing your resources. Like,
Get low.
so now you're outside his range, and he's just swinging at nothing. So you can just fire into him. You don't need to blink.
Right. Be
Like,
careful.
what was you blinked into his swing hammer range. So now you need to blink away. So there's 2 blinks that you didn't need to use, and you kind of disoriented yourself.
They super roll. Great numbers, you.
Ever get that feeling of deja vu? Back in the fight. Now kill them.
At least be communicating to your team what you're doing so they know where their other DPS is. So you're like, I'm just going to spawn camp the Moira. Or, you know, I'm going to be pushing up. I'm going to be behind them. You know, telling them what you're doing so at least they know, like, if they can see a damaged character that's in the back, they can call it out to you.
Nice. We do left side, watch out, Moira. Right. Reaper behind.
You okay?
So you're already winning the fight. And when you've already... Well, you're already in a good position to win the fight, at least. I mean, what is this really necessary to throw this ult out? I mean, you kill yourself, but let's just ignore that because you know that's bad. You know, killing yourself with your own pulse bomb unforced is bad, so I don't need to talk about that. But just using your ult in general there onto the Widowmaker, I mean, you couldn't just burst her down. Yeah, she grappled out, but by the time she would have gotten into position to grapple out, you could have at least really gotten her low.
Okay, we got this.
I don't know why you aren't living kind of like on that flank, because I'm not forcing you to leave. You could just stay here and on this left side and keep attacking their right flank, your left flank, until they force you away. Because right now, like going, it's not really like right now. Yeah, you look at the point. It's not really your job right now. It's Tank's job. Your team is still up. There's no reason to lose point percentage. But you blink into the middle of their team in front of them. Like this diva, you're in perfect range of this diva to defense matrix you so you do no damage, and then shoot rockets into your face. So they're coming in. You could have flanked behind them and gotten either the healer or shoot the diva in the back, which would have made her turn around and the healer get the healer's attention. And I think it was the junk. No, it wasn't the junk rat, but someone just went in front, and so they would have been alone with the person on the point. So you just blink through to grab, like, grabs their attention, but it uses so many resources, and you did no damage. So you see, if you had stayed in this flank, one blink would have gotten you into this position. You would have had 2 blinks, and though your recall would have still been down, so it would have been dangerous, but you would have been shooting them in the back, making them turn around. You would have gotten more damage off and had more resources.
That's right. A Reaper in the cave. Reaper star.
You talk at times, and then you kind of stop, because you kind of probably go on autopilot, which everyone does. Everyone does it. I do it. It's really tough to like get off autopilot. It's going to happen. But you gotta try to like say, I'm attacking this or attacking that. What are we doing? Look for ult combos and stuff like that. At least the ults, like ult combos, are really good, because that's what wins fights. Okay. McCree knows. Yeah. So you got shot by the McCree. I don't know. That was just a lack of thought. The McCree shot you once, so he knows you're over there, and then you just kind of stand there, and he can hit the shots. But they did switch to McCree, so that means that this Tracer is annoying them.
Okay, so 1 point. Reaper right side. There in point. And on that.
They know you're there. They saw you, right? Yeah. So you put yourself in a position using all your resources in view of the team, enemy team. So that's an okay flank if you can get there without being seen, or getting there without any of your resources. But you used all your blinks to get there. You had to use your recall, and then you didn't have enough blinks to get out. So that's why you died there.
Guys, don't beat them.
But you know, like, you have spawn advantage, so you can be a little reckless and it will work out for you. But these are bad habits. You should try not to dying and rely on spawn advantage, unless it really is required for you to rely on spawn advantage. But it's not, like, you didn't need to do it that way. You could have still gotten the same value, picked someone off without wasting all those resources.
the cave. Behind the point, guys. They all behind the.
No.
Well, that just happened.
Reaper very low. Reaper.
I still have spawn advantage, so this is futile, I think, for that team. Well, they didn't make it a little scarier than it should have been.
Lion's the man with gravity. Oh.
I'm switching back to McCree.
Justice ain't gonna dispense itself.
So was that like a rage, like, change? Because the McCree killed you and you thought, I needed... Like, you're doing... Compared to your McCree at the beginning of this round to your Tracer play was definitely winning you the game. Now you...
All that and live life.
They have grab, guys. Watch out.
That's the only ult track I have heard in your higher videos, and someone else said it. They have ult, they have grab, watch out.
60 seconds remaining.
This life's never uneventful.
Feel right side.
I need a doctor. I need healing.
10 seconds. Slowly they realize that failure is always
Don't like this flank.
No!
Okay. That's not me. That's the video.
And on point.
No! What the fuck? He slapped me, dude.
Yeah. Because even if you didn't lag out here, this Deadeye wouldn't have done anything, but... Like, that flash stuns 2, but... Are you gonna kill them? Maybe Ryan Hammers... I don't know. It was going to be...
No!
tough to say with the lag.
And on point.
No! What the fuck? He slapped me, dude. It was so lucky I had shatter.
I thought you were already in the game. I was gonna invite you. Oh, that. Nothing at all. Here's one of those PSN errors. I'm gonna go back to game chat now. Guys, we can do it. They capped it with like 0 seconds. We'll cap it with like 5 minutes left. Don't worry. We'll do this.
You're just going to keep your team
We'll
positive. That's
destroy
good.
them. Everybody in our team except for the Moira and Zarya has golden guns, so we will win this.
Making up fake reasons why you'll win
Cap
is always
with
good
0
too.
seconds. We're gonna cap with 5 minutes. Both points.
attack commences in 30 seconds.
They just got lucky, remember that.
So your Tracer play is a hell of a lot stronger than your McCree play.
Carries the game.
Basically because
Hells yeah.
McCree's just in a bad spot. Especially on console, it's just such a bad spot. There's no reason really to choose McCree over Soldier or for some damage or
Let's go right.
a
Shit.
Widowmaker or a Hanzo or a
I did not
or
see
a
that
Brig.
top.
Like all those people do things. that
Push
McCree
push
does,
right
but
side,
better.
don't push left side. They have a Junkrat and Bastion, so push right side.
And then his ult is so hard to get value out of. Let's
Go right.
go. I want that screen. So they're again quadruple DPS against the Ana Soul Heal. So Ana Soul Heal on console is difficult because one, she has to reload, so there's going to be moments where she can't heal anyone. She's going to want to keep her Rhine up. At least she doesn't have very mobile DPS. Like, if you're going to go quad DPS for an Ana, this isn't a bad DPS lineup because no one's going to be moving that much. But they don't have no defensive ult. So they have no defensive ult. Like, grab Dragon into, if you get 3 of them, will almost certainly just win you. Just play for that. But you're not going to win the shield war. You're just not going. It's not going to happen. You're not going to contribute to it. Zarya is going to be high charged, like easily. Like she should be high charged all the time. But you're going to lose the shield war. So as Tracer, I'd be trying to pull their focus away from your front line because your front line is going to be under heavy pressure. Again, from the spam of both the Bastion and the Junkrat. Plus even like Torbjorn's turret and stuff like that. Like there's just so much damage coming out of this comp that this Rhine is not going to have a shield. Like he's going to have it up and it's going to be gone within a second. It's going to be tough for you going into a Torb, because that turret is annoying as hell on console. So you should really avoid that turret and try to pull people away from the front line.
Go right side.
We're pushing
Your
right
team
side, and everybody goes left. Now we can push.
Waste your shield.
I do like this flank
Guys,
because you're not going to be able to push into that back line. They barely have a back line. You're taking the Ana's attention. I would have just gone to point, though. Your team is dead. I try to tell your team to wait, group up, and tell you, and then push in when you tell them to. Because you wait here, they group up, you jump onto the point because they don't have their main healer, so this is kind of like bad timing. I like the idea because look, you're bringing the Bastion, so that instantly relieves so much pressure off your Rhine. Okay, so now you've pulled Torb too. I'd be looking to run away up those stairs to my right now. No, see now okay. There's 2 reasons why this didn't work. It was a really good idea. I liked the idea, but 1, it was too early because your team couldn't capitalize off this. Like, look how much pressure came off the front line because you touched the point, but your team wasn't ready to capitalize on it. So it was basically you throwing away your life. You also didn't run away in the right direction. There was no health pack left in that room, and there's no escape from that room. So you should have ran up the stairs and gone to the Mega and just been a thorn in their side.
They're all on the point. Everybody's on the point.
So your team is a little bit capitalizing on it. They're gonna...
Come on, Ana low. Kill the Bastion, kill the Bastion.
So they did push in, so that's good. You didn't tell them to, really, until a little bit later, but you see how much pressure it relieves at the front line. Let your team push in So it was a really
Kill that,
good
kill that,
idea.
Ana.
A little
They
early,
killed the Ana, they are
not
moving.
communicated,
Kill the Ana.
and then you didn't run away to save your life. And that was the only mistakes, but just because the idea was so good that it actually really helped your team.
Oh my gosh. We can still... No, come back, come back. Hanzo, can you go can you play Pharah? Hanzo, can you play Pharah? Kill Junkrat, kill him.
You guys have spawn advantage.
You have pick, we can win. Come on guys, you have a pick, we can win this.
Yeah, you have no resources again. Getting into position.
Hold low. This Reinhardt, kill Reinhardt, this Reinhardt, kill him. He's dead. Junkrat, kill Junkrat.
Where's Q? Right side, guys. Watch out, right side.
Okay, we can push it now, they have no Bastion.
Right side, check. In the game.
Can I get heal, Murdo? Push. They have no Bastion and Torp. Ryan charge. Oh shit, I didn't see that.
Yeah, so you were at the front line, so that's the only problem is they're throwing away
Can I
ults
get heal, Murdo?
and throwing away their lives. But you're at the front line like a soldier. You're at 100 health, so one fire strike will almost kill you. Even when you're at full health, the fire strike will almost kill you.
Push. They have no
And
Bastion
a Reinhardt's going to fire strike into the group of your team.
and Torp. Ryan charge. Oh shit, I didn't see
And
that.
then random spam finished you off. So the fire strike did most of the damage, but then you only need 50 more damage on you. So then there's just random spam. So you don't really want to group up into your team as a death ball as Tracer. You should have gone for one of the flanks, gone underneath, and try to again relieve pressure off of your front line.
Hanzo, save your
Just
ult
switch
for
off the
Zarya
McCree to Civ.
combos.
So
Hanzo, save your
this as Tracer is, I don't, like, Jesus Christ. There's gonna be turrets everywhere, spamming from all over the place. This is just gonna be a nightmare.
ult for Zarya combo. You can
You're
combo
gonna-
with Zarya.
Honestly, you'd have to be really passive, and just being annoying. That's your best bet as Tracer.
Please go back.
So for all heroes, it's good to have different play styles. So there's the super aggressive Tracer that's always taking out your healers and stuff like that. There's the annoying Tracer that doesn't always push in, but it's always in your back line and making your other DPS, the DPS, have to be aware of her, and even the healers be like, oh god, where is that Tracer? Is she gonna come pick me off? And that Tracer is usually just waiting for someone to give a call out or something like a Discord or some damage, and then she finishes off. So she's more of a finisher than the primary killer. And then there's like anti-Tracer, which keeps the other Tracer in check. So in this one, you've been like an aggressive Tracer, and you really need to switch to a very passive one that just kind of sticks in their back line and makes them always think about you. But it's going to be tough in a 2CP because their back is already to their
Zarya
spawn.
combo with Bastion, combo with Hanzo, Zarya combo with Zarya.
Yeah, that's your best bet, Hanzo. Sorry, like the win condition in this game does not involve you almost at all. It's going to be that Hanzo and Zarya. So you wasted your ult. Like, if you're going to stick the Bastion, why not stick him at the beginning? But even then, I guess you don't have it. But still, like you've done tons of damage to him. Like, you're using your pulse bomb to kill something you should be able to kill without it.
Kill Reinhardt. 101 HP.
Because right now you should have your pulse bomb. You should have your pulse bomb and be able to
Zarya, use a
stick someone to
combo with Hanzo.
finish this up. It's once Torbjorn uses Molten Core, it's gonna be really tough to push into that unless you can kill that Torbjorn. If you kill the Torbjorn, if you don't know this, if you kill the Torbjorn, the turret no longer stays into the level 3. It goes back to level 2.
Will be a very nice episode for Genji. The turret and Bastion. Guys, back to this. They just kill you.
And back in the game.
I have back, hands are back.
Wait, we keep stuff.
Come on, Zarya, you have the combo. You
Zarya,
guys can combo now.
Combo with Hanzo.
Guys,
Please
Zarya.
combo, do it now,
come on, do that. Nice.
Hanzo. Nice.
Nice job. Shout for turret, not get killed.
Oh fuck, Bastion's hiding.
Funny China.
I'm behind you!
What?
I know, we don't
You
have
guys
enough
cannot
kick.
kill one Bastion. Are you serious?
Okay, well, you're getting tilted and flaming your team. You should never do this. Even if you think this, like, just don't do it because it's gonna get them angry.
Please. One Bastion.
But you knew that Bastion was there. You knew he was there and didn't communicate it to your team. See, like, you saw him on the left side, didn't call it out, said Bastion on the left.
Please
Zarya.
combo, do it now,
Come on, do that.
They do their combo.
Hanzo.
And
Nice.
especially with all these 4 down, there's only 2 left, the Ana and the Bastion. So you know where the Bastion is. You do. So you can communicate Bastion left, Bastion left.
Shout for turret, not get killed.
He gets damage. He gets nanoed, which is ridiculous.
Oh fuck, Bastion's hiding.
And then one of your teammates goes, "Oh fuck, Bastion's hiding." This damage output is ridiculous from Bastion with a nano boost. It's like, I think it's close to 600 damage per second. It's gonna be ridiculous with a nano boost. So they needed to have known where that Bastion was immediately, like before before he was nanoed. They needed to know where he was, because once he's nanoed, Reinhardt needed to hammer down or charge him or something. So he needed to know where the Bastion was, and they get surprised by it. So that's what wins the fight.
I'm behind
And
you!
the only person that knew where the Bastion was you, and you didn't communicate it. So that's how you could have won the fight for your team, just by communication. I mean, again, your team would have had to act on that information. So if they did, great. If they didn't, that's unfortunate. But that's how you could have improved yourself to make sure
What?
that this
No, we
didn't
don't
You
have
happen.
guys cannot kill one Bastion. Are you seriously?
They're all in this. Zarya's not gonna even get. He was there, so I got killed at first.
Yeah, like.
But the
that
rest
is
was
true.
just walking and didn't see him.
Did
I
it
killed
again.
Bastion.
Did it again. You shoot and then you throw your stick out. I don't think I've seen you once in this entire game actually stick something. So you really should work on your pulse
Zarya's not
bombs.
gonna even get her ult in this.
Yo,
She can't build her ult fast enough.
she
Not
could.
good Zarya.
You want to use your pulse bombs like at the beginning of the fight to initiate, to get it on a healer, because there's once you win the fight, once like the enemy team has lost 3, you don't want to use it because it could be used to win the next fight. If your team can't win a 6v3, then your team probably doesn't deserve to win. But that was you were beginning of the fight, so you want to stick a Bastion. It's great, but you killed him and then just threw your stick bomb for celebration,
him one more
and you've
time.
done that twice.
You have to kill
Dude,
one
it
Bastion.
takes her 4 minutes to build
You
her
guys
ult,
are
so
still
we're
talking. Okay, so don't dwell on the past. You guys are. This is like you know, this is the second fight after that fight, and you're still talking about what happened, and not even like how can we improve ourselves. It's just complaining. So it's not really a good.
AKM Zarya Blade.
It's just not a good habit, and it's just tilting your entire team. You're not calling out. So remember, the Bastion surprised your team, and you're not calling them out on the right side. Bastion on the right alone.
Guys, top side. West behind, guys. Behind.
Okay, we can push in now. Push in now. Push in now. We have 2 kills. Just wait. Just wait.
You will rain.
You can still win.
I won't kill you.
Push. Get in the point. Touch the point. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Touch the point.
Symmetra behind you, Symmetra behind you, Symmetra.
Kill Symmetra.
There,
The trap. Turret. The turret. Wow. Of course.
Fuck.
Come back. We have team kill, but we still cannot cap the point. Genji, can you play healer?
Enemy turret ahead.
We have only one healer, it's very bad.
Genji has to go healer. I mean, Genji went against Symmetra or Junkrat.
Yeah, we need to
Well, when you're not the other healer, don't say Genji needs to go healer. If you think this team needs a healer and so no one else will do it, you either have to do it or you don't say like you need to do it. You can say, hey guys, can we get a primary healer? But if no one does it, again, this is all it does is tilt your team. That's all it does. So you got to win with what you get, the hand you get, and you don't want to flame your team because it just makes them play worse.
Tracer, don't spam because we have one. Legion with
Okay, I'm going to go in there and I'm gonna pulse bomb.
You could maybe ask the
Bastion.
Brig if she wants to go primary healer, but again, like just say, can we get a primary healer? Because that's what you need.
There, I almost have ulti.
Fire at will.
No, why? Why you do this?
Okay, guys. Jump.
Why you do this, Zarya? Why would you lose the game like that?
Jesus.
Nice play. You big DPS, we can also be second kill.
And the only thing maybe you could have done different for this last fight is saved your pulse bomb, because if you didn't, I don't think you look at the hero screen, because you want to be thinking, how do we win this fight? And it's honestly, against this comp, it's going to be the Grav plus something else, Grav plus your pulse bomb, Grav plus a Diva bomb, Grav plus something is going to win you this fight. It's going to win you this game. So once you get your pulse bomb, the Zarya is not in game chat. I would spam my ultimates ready and look to see if the Zarya has Grav or is close to Grav. But because you've gotten already tilted and stuff, you've stopped really thinking about
Okay, I'm
that.
going to go in there and I'm gonna pulse bomb the Bastion.
There, I almost have ulti.
Fire at will.
No, why? Why you do this?
Okay, guys. Jump.
Why you do this, Zarya? Why would you lose the game like that?
Jesus.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna end it there. It's just I lost the fight. Your Tracer is definitely higher than your McCree, to a point where I don't see a reason for you to really be McCree until you get really better with him. And even then, like, I hate saying like one hero should not be played at all. There's so many better options for what you're trying to do as McCree with other heroes. Like range damaged Hanzo Widowmaker, medium damage Soldier, anti-flanker Brig. It's just, and then no one's ever using McCree because he has a great ult, because he has one of the worst ults in the game. The only reason why I ever choose McCree, even in like quick player or against bots, is just because I love dinking heads. But there are a few like practices you can do with McCree. So I guess I'll show you the Anabot stuff and some tricks, I guess, with Tracer and McCree. So one of the best training methods is Anabots that I find. So you just go into a custom game. I already have kind of my settings set up. So I have everything turned off. This is just the basic one for Ana on Team 2. I don't know why Wrecking Ball is disabled. It happened when Wrecking Ball came into the game. It just automatically was disabled. But turn off all her abilities. Right now it's not headshot only because you don't always want that. So for Tracer, I think let's go to Heroes. Okay, so as you can see, I turned down the cooldown times for her blink and recall. I made the pulse bomb generate as much as it can, as fast as possible, and made it respond with it. So if we just go into here, and so if we go into add AI, we just go to Ana. We'll just make it hard because they'll move more, and Team 2, and add. Now you can do this with so many different characters. Like you can practice Winston Leap, you can practice headshots with most of the hit scans, or really all of them. Whatever you really need to practice. Anabots are really good. Let's go to our Tracer. Like that, and you just kind of pick an Ana, pick her out, and stick her. I'm still out of practice though, but here's the general idea. Just go into Anabots. Wow. All for it now. But this will also get you your blink, distance on moving targets, and pulse bomb.
Wait for it.
Just do this for like fucking as long as you can until time runs out. And do it again until you feel like you were doing it pretty well.
Time's up.
There we go. But this type of training can really work. If we go back to the lobby. We can also go into settings. So we enable headshot only. restart again. Now this will be good for anyone you were trying to that relies on headshots. So McCrees,
Now entering
soldiers, Widowmakers, Hanzos. I'm not gonna do McCree because, like I said, my controls are all fucked with that right now. I've been practicing different control styles, and I don't want to really. It's just not gonna work very well.
With every death comes honor.
But this works for
Redemption.
tons of heroes.
One shot, one kill.
That's right. Against my. It's like you can start like you can purposely put your cursor like away from them, and if you want to practice flicking, and kind of like try to go up to it, and track them. Basically, this will like give you some practice. Now it's not 100% perfect, and once you do really well in this, I suggest going into deathmatch and practicing against them, because Ana bots, they're not predictable, but they stand still too much. And this is just to get you like the initial improvements, and then you want to go into deathmatch and practice there. And you want to, the point isn't to win, is to get better aim. So let's say you win the match, but you did it with all body shots as like Widowmaker. You didn't improve. You didn't do better. So you want to put your own goals into that deathmatch and say, I want to get headshots. So a better game would be to come in 5th, but maybe you got 15 headshots instead of coming in 1st, getting 20 kills, but only getting like 3 headshots. So that's what you want to. That's how you're gonna try to improve your aim. And then, like, just to show you, not many people really look into this, but for controls, like look at all these different things: aim smoothing, aim assist window, aim assist strength, aim ease in, and then different dual zone, exponential ramp, and linear ramp. Dual zone is kind of like Overwatch's own thing, where there's 2 zones. Like, so you notice, like when you push to the left, it's slow, and then it goes fast. Linear ramp, it is kind of like Call of Duty. So yeah, that's basically how I would improve aiming with any character you are. But also no, like you asked, like on so many characters, and to be a plat, there's X amount of hours you need to do to be, let's say, a plat McCree. So there's that many hours you need to do. If you are a one trick, you only have to do those many hours. If you want to be a plat McCree and a plat Widowmaker, you need to put in more than twice the amount, because the hours you're putting into the next one, into your next hero, is less. It's time that you're not practicing your other hero, so skills kind of get diminished. So it's like 2.2 more hours than when you do it. And it's good to be a flex character. Like I don't advocate one tricking, but I also don't advocate trying to be good at all the DPS, because you're not going to. It's not going to happen. So you should pick your favorites and really practice those. Because like, as you can see, I kind of stopped trying to do the McCree and Widowmaker, at least at my level. I was doing it in plat, but I've kind of like gone off of it and in favor of Tracer and Junkrat and maybe Farah. I'm still working on her, but I wouldn't say I've given up on them. I've accepted that I won't be the hit scan god, and instead I'm focusing on other characters, like mainly healer and tank. Now that doesn't mean you shouldn't learn how they work. You shouldn't learn what makes them good, because you're going to face against them. So overall, Your Tracer is way better than McCree. Your Pulse Bombs are one of your weakest points. I mean, just managing your resources in general is your weakest point. You overuse your things to the extreme. You use too many blinks to get into a position. Your recall were mostly all right, but they usually came out too early because you didn't have any blinks left. So work on your blinks. Don't blink when you don't really need to. Try not to blink to get into position. Try to walk there instead, because that's one less blink you're gonna have. Like if you use one blink to get in position and then use your blinks to attack, then that's just one less blink you'll have for the fight. For the McCree, if you want to get good at McCree, you're gonna need to practice your aiming, definitely. And then we'll move on from there, because there wasn't much else to see besides the aiming was really off, and then there was a lag spike, so it's hard to tell. So I hope this helped, and good luck in your future matches.